Okay, for our next exercise number 4, we need to know the properties of logarithmic functions for expanding and compressing expressions. So the first property that is usually encountered is the product rule. That says the logarithmic function of x times y equals the sum of the logarithms. The second property that you guys will probably be introduced to in this class, in a pre-calculus class, it's the logarithm of a fraction x divided by y is the logarithm of x minus the logarithm of y. The next property is the power rule, which basically says that if you have an x or some base to the power r, you guys can literally just bring down the power r next to log on the left hand side and multiply the power by log. Okay, and then the last two properties are for simplification. Okay, so these first three properties are to expand or condense logarithmic expressions. The next property 4 is when you guys are, they ask you to simplify all the way through, then you need to know that the logarithm function of 1 is always 0, and the logarithm function evaluated at a, when you plug in the base a, you have a logarithm of base a, then this equals 1. And the last property, it's the inverse property, um, which says that the logarithm base a, when applied to an exponential expression with the same base, basically the logarithm and the base cancel each other. Okay, they're nemesis of each other, so these two guys cancel each other and you just get x. On the other hand, if you have a as a base and then raise it to the power log, and then we have the same base, then these two guys cancel each other and you get x. Okay, now when they ask you to rewrite logarithmic expressions, um, basically you use these two properties and you use them in this way. First you will try to find if you can apply the power rule. If there's no power affecting the whole expression, then you will go and try to find a fraction, and if there's no fraction, then you will try to find a product and apply the product rule. Okay, so let me give you an example. Okay, so in this exercise 4 from the class notes, we're supposed to expand in part A this logarithm expression. Notice there's no power, so the next property that we look for is a quotient rule. A quotient is basically a fraction. So notice that here's there's a fraction, and so we're going to be using the quotient rule. And the quotient rule is basically says this is a logarithm base 2. The numerator is 6x, the denominator is y, and so it's the logarithm of the numerator minus the logarithm of the denominator. And so we get this by using the quotient rule. Okay, then once you apply one rule, you go back, it basically cycles, you go back to the power rule and try to see if there's any power that you have to bring down. Since there's no power, then you move on again to the quotient rule. In this case, there's no quotient, no fractions, so then last you apply the product rule. So let me apply the product rule here, and when you guys apply the product rule, this becomes logarithm base 2 of 6 plus log base 2 of x, and we still have this log base 2 of y. This is how you guys expand a logarithm into a bunch of logarithms being added or subtracted. Okay,